morning everyone. Today we are going to see the fifth exercise of a C# and .NET lab. My fifth exercise is exception handling, and the question for my exception handling exercise is my integer queue. In this particular program, I have to write a program in C# to perform the operations on an integer queue by demonstrating the use of exception handling. Now in this we should create our own exceptions, and we should deal with the following situations. There are three situations which we need to handle in a program. The first situation is no integer value should be encountered in the queue. When one is queue overflow, that is when the maximum queue limit is reached, and the other one is queue empty. Now we'll see our program. Now in this program we are having this particular namespace using system.collection.generate, using system.link, using system.text, using system.threading.tasks. Now my namespace is fifth. Now as I said, we have to handle three exceptions. My first exception is class no integer exception. This is the first exception that we need to handle. Our next exception is class queue overflow exception, which we need to handle, and then empty queue. Now in my main method, we will have the size and choice, like because we need to add in the queue, remove from the queue, display the queue, or we need to exit, whatever we want. Now we have to enter the size of the queue. Now over here we are initializing the size variable. Now we are declaring an array so that the values are entered. Now while the condition is true, we'll go to a menu driven program in which we have to add into the queue, remove from the queue, display queue, and exit. Now once the user enter the choice will be given the like choice equal to int32.parse console.readline. It will read the values which will be entered by the user. Now as it is exception handling, we'll use a try and catch block. In my try block, we'll have a switch statement which will give us the choices. Now over here, once we enter the elements, now if the current size of the queue is equal to the size, then we have to throw an exception of queue overflow. If not, if my in.try parse console.readline out else, then we have to throw the exception of no integer exception. That means there is no integer in that queue. If my given queue is the size is greater than it is empty, then we have to enter the elements. Now the elements will be inserted into the queue. And now my next condition is if my current size is 0, then my queue is empty. That means there is nothing in my queue. Okay. Now int popped equal to if my array is 0. Okay, then we have to enter the ends. If my queue is empty, then we'll enter the elements inside the queue. Now we'll enter it for I equal to 0, I current size -1, I plus 1, because in a queue we always go to n-1. Then my current size minus, then the number of elements that are popped. Break. This will remove all the elements that has been inserted. Like if my particular queue is empty, you cannot pop any elements out of it, and then it will throw an exception of that the queue is empty. But if my queue is not empty, then it will pop out the elements, like it will start from queue follows the order of first in first out. So whatever has been pushed inside first will be popped out first. Now my case 3 is when we have to give the elements of the queue. What are the elements available in the queue? What we will do now, after popping out whichever element we have popped out, after that, or whether we want to display it before, for int I equal to 0, I is less than current size I plus plus. Now over here what will we do? Console.write ai plus whatever, then it will display the elements that are available in the queue. It will return the values. At last we are we have to enter the choice. Now in my catch block, all my three exceptions of when queue overflow, queue is empty, then the integer value, no integer exception, all three will be handled over here. The syntax is as follows: catch no integer exception, any console.write please enter integer value. It will give the value, it will ask us to enter the integer value since there is no integer available in the queue. If queue overflow means that the values, the size of if the size is given as 4 but you are entering 5 values, then it will give an option of queue overflow. You cannot enter any more values inside your queue. empty queue is like when you are popping out the elements, and at a point when it will be completely empty, it will give the message as queue is empty. This is my program. Now we'll run the program and we'll check. Now it's asking us to enter the size of the queue. I'm entering the size of the queue as 4. Now if I want to add into the queue, remove from the queue, display the queue and exit. Now first I'll add into my queue. I'm adding 3. Element is inserted. Now again if I do 1, it will be my added. I'll zoom it. Okay. Now if I again enter the choice 1, I can add into the queue. I'm adding, for instance, 5. Now I will remove from my queue. First I'll display my queue. Now if I'm displaying my queue, it is saying elements of the queue are 3 and 5. Now what will happen? I want to remove from my queue. So when I do remove from my queue, element 3 will be popped. Now if I do again 3 to display my queue, only element is 5. Now if I again remove my queue from my queue, then my 5 is popped out. Now if I do 5, if I do 3, that means if I display my queue, elements of the queue are, it's empty, there's nothing inside it. Now again if I remove it, now see, over here queue is empty. 5th empty exception of type was thrown and it was handled. Now if we do exit, we'll come out of this program. So basically this is my 5th exercise. Thank you.